and living a healthy life. As world is facing the fear of multiple diseases one after the other, there's a need to shift from manual to automated working, and past 2 years have been adequate evidence for the same. My name is Rohit Golani, and I'm a chartered accountant, and we have gathered here today to understand the need and role of banking and finance automation in the life cycle of any business organization. So I can see that people have already started joining the session. That tells us the need of automation is the need of an hour, and our professionals understand that need. So good evening, Vishek ji. I hope everything is safe and healthy at your home. Thank you so much for attending today's session. Okay, so people have started joining, but good evening, Radha Krishna ji. Most welcome to this session. I'll just request all my kind professionals to wait for a minute or so, because as you already know that we at Optotax have professionals connected with us all over the country. So I'll urge all of you to please stay with me and stay calm, so that we allow other friends to join as well to this session, so that all of them can know the need and urge of automation. Good evening, Georgie. Hope everything is good at your home. Okay, now beginning with our today's session, which is brought to you by Optotax. And about Optotax, many of our professionals might already be knowing, but those who are new to the family, let me just brief about it to all of you. Optotax is India's #1 and biggest GST platform. It has been engineered for your empowerment and benefit. And now Optotax, with all your love and support, has become a family of more than 60,000 tax professionals who trust Optotax for their 1 million plus clients. And today we have our GST and technology expert, CA Ramya with us, who obviously you all know has come with me as a joint speaker to talk about the transformation in finance and banking in this today's era. So I'll let Ramya the stage to enlighten us about the importance of automation in the era of finance and banking. So over to you, Ramya.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rohit. So first of all, I thank everyone who has joined us as of now. So it's when I see the participant list, I see that there are so many people who have, rejoined us in our webinars. I see a lot of people like George Peters, Ji, Prasanna Chaudhary Ji, Inderpal Singh, who has been with us for years together. So it's really amazing to see that people keep trusting us, keep joining our webinars, irrespective of whatever topic we keep. Obviously, all the topics that we undertake in our webinars are something that will be very useful to the professionals. So that is what is our goal anyway. So similar to that, in the same line of our goal, today's webinar also will be something that will be that will hopefully enlighten you with the new technology and why you should digitize as such. Because so many changes, we all know, so many changes brought out, we have been forced to change. Some of us are proactively changing. So this webinar will definitely help you get a glimpse of an overview of the new technology that you can help your clients adopt, you can help businesses adopt, right? So moving ahead, first of all, the fact that so many people have actually joined the session itself, shows how technology is important in our professional lives, right? We would have seen a lot of our clients would be facing issues with manual processes, variable manual process, maybe even if it's payments or payrolls, salary payments, whatever it is, they would be having a lot of problems, right? They will end up coming to us asking for solutions because they may not be aware of the technology that they can adopt, right? And also we as professionals during our day-to-day job and work, we tend to miss out on, the upgradations, what is there in the world. We miss out on upgrading ourselves. And before we know it, unfortunately, we go out, we lose to our competitors. Right? The competitors will be the first ones to adopt technology and efficiently improve their products and services. But we, unfortunately, might be left behind. So we also see a lot of CSM professionals who have, in this process, lost out on competitions with other firms which adopt much more efficient technology, right? Also, we witness similar things in businesses as well. Like you definitely would have old clients who are still using their traditional methods in the past few years. They are reluctant to adopt and change to new technologies, right? Especially for MSMEs, you would have seen that, right? So for these kind of companies, for MSMEs and startups, you as a professional are one place where they will reach out for solving their issues in finance. So as a professional also, it is very important for you to be aware of these new technology and the tools that will help you simplify the business of your clients. Thereby, you can also provide value addition to your clients, something which they expect out of us, right? So thus, as a CA professional, it is important that we are proactive about new technology. So let's take a simple example. Example I take in almost every webinar when I talk about technology is that after pandemic we were forced to change to webinars, right? We never even thought about webinars like 3 years or 4 years back, but then we are forced to change to Zoom. We are forced to change to Google Meets to meet our clients and all that. We have now cloud storage, sharing documents on G Drive, OneDrive has become a new normal. So we have been forced to adopt new technology, but henceforth we have to actually be proactive. We have to see what are all the new technologies that are there, which will help you achieve a competitive advantage, which will also help you in turn grow your own profession. So anything else you want to add, Rohit, from your side?
Yes, obviously. Thank you, Ramya. Indeed, I'll like to bring into picture some of the stats and surveys. So, like based on the results derived from Institute of Finance and Management, I have been going through. 84% of typical accountants are wasting their time on manual activities, right? So there's a way we can. My question that came into my mind was: is there any way we can automate this aspect? So I figured out, yes, we can automate this aspect, and I urge all my viewers to please stay with me for next 30 to 40 minutes to learn more about it, because there's obviously a solution to every problem considering the pandemic. So, and obviously for a business, anticipating challenges and readiness to step out of your comfort zone is the new normal. And obviously businesses have been doing so. That has taken many businesses out of their comfort zone, and they have been shining bright in the even in the area of in the times of pandemic, right? So we need to create long-term positive banking and finance management habit. Why is that so? Because we have already seen in past that pandemic disrupted the businesses, and businesses started automating their functions. And when we create a robust banking and finance backbone for a business, anything which whatever happens cannot disrupt the business of any person. So there's a need for automation in current scenario. In this day and age, it is important for business to have an online presence so that you can get discovered by customers throughout the country. There are many tech and platforms which will help the business in this. Like we can search for online tools like Open.money software, which will be a one-stop solution to all your business needs in relation to or finance and banking automation. So you can go through it. It's a really nice software, but merely talking about the importance of automation is not sufficient. Learning about why should we digitize and importance of automation is also equally important. So I request Ramya, can you please enlighten our professionals and me as well about the importance of the same?
Yeah. So before we actually get into the digitization, we have to know why we need it and what benefits actually we will have from that. Because adopting to a new technology is not easy, although it is actually very imperative, actually very required in this scenario, in this industrial scenario. It is not easy, but the cost benefit, if you do the cost benefit analysis, definitely the benefit will outweigh, because of so many reasons. It will save you time, it will save you costs, so many things are there. So I will just go through one by one on why you should adopt new technology, why you can urge your clients to adopt new technology to improve their businesses, right? So obviously technology is moving very, very fast, right? For example, 2 years ago also, we used to transfer money through checks a lot. But post the pandemic, what happened? Has completely shifted to UPIs, right? How many people are giving checks these days? Very few, very less comparatively, right? So maybe UPI also will become out of trend in another 3 years. Who knows, right? So new technologies keep coming, and we have to keep ourselves updated with that. And manual processes are slow and time consuming. Let me continue the same check example, where if you want to encash a check, you have to go to the bank, you have to spend time for that, right? But in UPI, no, you just sit there, you ask them to just transfer, and in a few seconds, you get that in your bank account directly, right? That is another example. And too many redundant tasks, obviously. I'll give one important example is in case of, receiving payments from your customers. You actually, if you see a business, they actually dedicate a particular person just so they can, follow up with the clients, follow up with the customers to pay them, to get the details of their bank accounts from where they got, and to get the receipts and everything else, right? So, but what if you can automate that? You can optimize that. How will, once you automate it, you will have so much time spent, on such redundant and duplicate tasks. You can reduce that, and instead what startups want to grow their business, right? And obviously competition pressure. If we have to be proactive, like I told you, before your competitor does it, you have to start, bringing this new technology for yourself and for your clients as well. And higher transparency of transactions, obviously everyone knows. Even taking the UPI example, once you make a payment, all the transaction details will come immediately, in which you can send the screenshots and all. So these kind of transparency will be there. If any transaction is done through net banking, then the owner itself can see, right? Owner of the business can see. So all those kind of transparency, digitization will bring. One more important aspect here I want to mention is this survey by the World Economic Forum, in which they have made a list of jobs which will be increasing in demand, which will be decreasing in demand in future. If you see in decreasing demand, you have accounting, bookkeeping, and payroll clerks. So accounting, bookkeeping, and payroll clerks have this function of any business is in decreasing demand. Why? Because it is getting digitized. Right. So before we go out of trend, before your businesses, your clients go out of trend, it is important that you start adopting the technology to optimize these functions, to automate these functions and make it more efficient for your business. Right. What are the benefits? I'm sure you all would be knowing. I'm just summarizing everything. Right. So obviously the time spent and the cost will drastically reduce. Right? And it will increase the efficiency of the staff, because they will not be doing duplicate tasks. They will be doing new kind of things, which will actually improve the business of the company. Then the business can operate more productively and effectively, because the redundant tasks are automated, it's done by the system. And timely report generation, you needn't wait for months together for bank reconciliations. Just imagine where you can do bank reconciliations as soon as you get the amount in your bank accounts. If that is done, then there will be no use of bank reconciliations periodically as well. Right? And obviously the business person, because of this, can focus on actual business growth rather than in these duplicate and redundant activities. And because of which it will be useful for MSMEs and startups, especially because they will want to grow, and they don't want to be held back with all these financial activities which keeps happening, right? So these are why I feel digitizing is very, very important. So over to you, Rohit. What do you think? What are the processes that needs to be digitalized? Because so many processes can be digitalized. What do you think in a business will be beneficial?
Okay, thank you, Ramya. Now being learned so much about the importance of digitization and the benefits of digitization, I guess it should not be me who should be answering the processes which should be digitized. Rather, I like to invite suggestions from my professionals, and I just want to ask them what they think what should be the processes that can be digitized. Business जो आज चल रहा है current scenario में, उसमें क्या क्या चीजें digitize हो सकती हैं. I just want to ask my professionals, can they come up with some good ideas about digitization in field of finance and banking? So I'm eagerly waiting to some replies in the chat box. with some interesting ideas with my fellow friends who can please come up and participate and let us know what are the features which could be automated or digitized in today's business. So please, sir.
So like you all know, Optotax webinars are interactive. So please keep the chat box flowing, keep it alive throughout the session. Keep asking us queries, whatever you have, or commenting, or anything you want to add, any personal experience you have about, digitizing a process for your clients. You can put that as well, because in the previous webinar, there were 3-4 professionals who have actually shared their experience on how they helped in digitizing their clients' businesses. So if you have such experience also, you can share.
Yes, I have received the response from Mayank Pandeyji. Very interesting reply is given. Invoice processing. Obviously, thank you so much for your valuable feedback. Yes, obviously, invoice processing has to be digitized. And obviously, I have received another a good response from Aditya Gaurji. He's talking about digitization of cards. So, I guess a most welcome reply, I must say, because digitization of cards and invoice processing is utmost need of an hour in this current automation scenario. Abhishek ji, so this is very nice that people are coming up with their views and ideas about automation, accounting payment upload from accounting softwares to bank. Yes, thank you so much, Abhishek Radhakrishnan ji. Thank you so much for your response. And I can see that people are really making this session interactive. Thank you so much. And like we have also tried to come up with some of the solutions which we think should be automated in current scenario, and we have jotted down some of the points which we think are essential. First of them being payment reconciliation with invoice, as my one of fellow friend has already mentioned, invoice processing. So this is somewhat related to what I'm trying to connect. Okay, so first of all, let's discuss about payment processing. Okay, so as we have already seen that when we as a business are raising an invoice, and at the end of the financial year, when we are trying to sum up or complete our books of accounts, we see that there is a tedious job where we get to sit and reconcile with our accountant कि यार ये invoice के against में payment है ना, कब आया और कैसे आया. So I believe that the time which we are consuming in this activity should be utilized in some other productive task as well. तो at the end of financial year जब हम books बना रहे हैं, तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए यार कि we as a owner only don't know कि इस invoice के against में payment आया या नहीं. So there is a need to automate the payments as and when they are received with invoices. So this is what the need of an hour is. Next, handling multiple bank accounts. Obviously, we have seen that many businesses today have many current accounts with different banks, and there are different obviously websites or platform for respective banks. So I believe there's a need of an hour that कि ऐसा कुछ single platform हो where all the bank accounts can be merged together on a single platform, जिससे क्या होगा कि whenever we are receiving a payment from any of our customers or whenever we are paying to any of our supplier, तो we need not rush and see यार balance है कि नहीं, payment आया कि नहीं. तो ये सारी चीजें we have to avoid, और ये इस टाइम को बचाने के लिए वी नीड अ सिंगल प्लेटफॉर्म और सॉल्यूशन जहां पे एवरी बैंक अकाउंट कुड बी इंटीग्रेटेड टुगेदर सो दैट on one click, on one just click of a button, we can see whatever balances we are having in our account or whatever payments we have received or whatever payments we have done. So अगर सारे बैंक अकाउंट एक सिंगल प्लेटफॉर्म पे इंटीग्रेट होंगे तो आई गेस दिस विल सेव लॉट ऑफ टाइम, और यही तो ऑटोमेशन का जादू है. सो नेक्स्ट expense management. So obviously this is not a secret from anyone that expenses have direct bearing to profits of any of the organization, right? So obviously as a business person, I need to make a platform or automation process to efficiently use the expense management system. और एज अ बिजनेस ओनर मैं ये भी चाहता हूं कि आई हैव टू सी द फ्लो ऑफ फंड कहाँ से आ रहा है और कहाँ से जा रहा है. ये एज अ बिजनेस पर्सन मुझे जानना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. तो आई गेस एक्सपेंस मैनेजमेंट एंड इट्स ऑटोमेशन मेक्स अ गुड सेंस टू बी ऑटोमेटेड. उसको ऑटोमेट करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है ताकि एट द एंड ऑफ ईयर वी मेक श्योर दैट देयर इज नो लीकेज ऑफ एनी एक्सपेंडिचर एंड देयर इज नो ओवर रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ एनी एक्सपेंडिचर एंड आवर फाइनेंशियल्स प्रेडिक्ट a true and fair picture. Next, petty cash expense management. Okay, so obviously this is one of the most painful tasks for an organization to manage its petty cash expenditures, क्योंकि होता ये है कि on day-to-day basis we are expending little amounts on some of the expenditures like fueling, traveling, transportation, and other kind of small like tea and coffee. All our employees on the field are expending these petty expenditures, and uh, these small expenditures incurred on day-to-day basis become a handsome and heavy amount at the end of financial year. And some of the organization don't have this clue, यार ये expenditure कहाँ इतना बड़ा खर्चा हो गया. So obviously there should be a platform or a solution जो ऐसा कुछ provide करे कि as and when these expenditures are undertaken, they should be recorded on that place, ताकि at the end of the year there is no confusion or any hectic कि यार ये amount कहाँ से आया. Obviously, so petty cash expenditure management is of utmost importance to the organization. Next, obviously making the business known over the internet. So personally, in this pandemic era, I have seen that many businesses have already moved to the online places. So obviously they have understood that urge कि जहां पे लोग हमें ढूंढ रहे हैं ना, हमें वहां पे ही होना जरूरी है, obviously, and that is internet. क्योंकि physically तो it's almost diminishing, it's like diminishing, क्योंकि लोग है ना अब are sitting at the comfort zones in their home and they are searching for clothes online, for food online. So obviously आप जो भी offer कर रहे हैं that should be available on internet. Why? ताकि whenever people are searching for the product or service they need and you deal in that, so you should be available online and you should be available on the first place to increase your business. So now let us discuss all these features in detail one by one. So I'm handing over to you, Ramya, to please enlighten all of us about all these details one by one.
Yeah. So the first thing, I think most important, most interesting part of automation that I've seen recently is the payment reconciliation part, right? So payment reconciliation, like I told you, like even the survey which Rohit had told that, they spend a lot of time, a person or an employee spends a lot of time manually, following up with the customers as to what happened to the payments, when are you paying, or which bank account they have paid from. They might have lots of bank accounts, right? Multiple bank accounts, you don't know which one they are paying from, right? So all these issues come up in payment reconciliations, which is why it is very, very important that you need to automate payment reconciliations. Rohit will tell you how you can automate that in just a minute. So before that, why you need this automated payment reconciliation, what benefits will it provide you and your clients? Is basically the thing is there is nothing linking a particular invoice to a payment, right? So you have raised an invoice to one of your customers, he will pay after 10 days. Someone has to sit and do the reconciliation of for this invoice, this person has paid through this account on this date, right? So this is another very tedious task because there is no link between the invoice and the payment that is being received, right? So, and irregular payment cycles for customers, obviously. So this will definitely lead into short-term liquidity problems for the business. So in case you have a proper automated reconciliation, you will know when the business is going short in cash and when it has to go and start following up with its clients, right? And obviously you're unable to track the payment received for individual invoices for reconciliation, and the burden of follow-up of customers is also on us. So that is an even additional task. Now, obviously, bank reconciliation, like I told you before, you needn't even do the bank reconciliation at the end of a period. As soon as you get the money in your account, you can get the reconciliation done with your ledgers. So that is another automated, that is another part of automated payment reconciliations. So Rohit, can you show them how it's done?
Yes, obviously. So as you can see on this screen, like Open.money has come up with a invoice processing automation, which my fellow friend has already mentioned about, and I'd like to just dig down into this. You can see in this screenshot that invoice processing has been made so much easy. Like under this invoice section in Open.money, you can fill the invoice number, date, bill to field will be for the customer जिसको हमें ये bill करना है. So we can fill out the name of that person जिसको हमें ये bill करना है. We'll mention the reference ID. We can also type in the field for invoice description जहाँ पे हम ये बताएंगे कि इस invoice के relation में if we want to add something about this, and then item details we can fill, rate, quantity, discounts and prices. All this we can do in a just a simple field which has been presented by this. And you can see the preview button on right side of your screen, and as and when we click this preview button after filling all the fields, ये सारी fields भर देने के बाद जैसे हम ये preview button click करेंगे तो एक PDF generate होगा about the invoice where we can easily save that invoice within this software itself. And you can also see at the right top there is a save and send button. So यहाँ पे ये सारी चीजें फिल कर देने के बाद as and when you hit that save and send button, so this invoice will automatically be sent to your customer's email ID. So there is no need to create an invoice at separate place and then use a separate platform like email or WhatsApp to send the bill to your customer. So this all of this could be done at a single place itself. And one important thing more about the payment integration is also very essential at this place, which I'm going to discuss later on. So ये मेरे ऊपर एक उदाहरण रहा, मैं इसको पेमेंट को कैसे इस इनवॉइस से जोड़ेंगे ये भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे. So next, and one more thing about some of our customers is all the customers are good. हमारे सारे customers भगवान होते हैं, but sometimes few of our customers forget to give us the payment on timely basis. So under invoice category itself, this software has come up with a good solution where we can see the list of all the customers जिनको हमें reminder send करना है because their payment is due but they have not paid it till now. So what we have to do is actually we just have to check box all the boxes of the customers जिनके हमारे पास payment due है, and with just one click of a send reminder button, reminders सारे customers के पास automatically चले जाएंगे. So we need not call each and every customer and tell them yeah your payment is due. We need not WhatsApp each and every customer individually कि your payment is due. So all this could be automated and your time could be saved with the send reminder option. Next. Okay, so this similar familiar slide which we have discussed 2 slides before where I was talking about the integration. Can you please come back, Ramya? Yes. So here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reconcile or merge invoice with payments. As I've already told you, with the save and send button on right top of your screen, as and when you hit this button, invoice would be sent to your customer's email ID. But what unique thing is happening is इस invoice के साथ एक payment link भी अपने customers के emails पे जाएगा. There will be a payment link which will be attached to the invoice and will be sent to the customer. And as and when the customer hits on that link and pays to us with that payment link, तो उससे क्या होगा, हमारे सॉफ्टवेयर में जो इनवॉइस सेव है उसके साथ उस पेमेंट का ऑटो रिकंसिलिएशन हो जाएगा, ताकि एट द एंड ऑफ ईयर we do not want to mix and merge each and everything यार कौन से इनवॉइस के अगेंस्ट में कौन सा पेमेंट आया. It would be automatically reconciled as and when we have received a payment against any particular invoice. So this is what this save and send button's unique feature is. And there are other features as well like enable partial payments, जिससे हम partial payments भी receive कर सकते हैं हमारे employees से. So all these features are very simply and smoothly put on by this software. Next. Send the payment link with the invoice itself, या फिर some of our customers are not able to find that payment link. So need not worry, there is also a solution for that. There is a create button where we can create a link for any of the invoice later on as well. We just have to hit this create button and we'll fill the name of the particular customer जिसको हमें link भेजना है. We'll enter the amount and we'll send the link. तो उससे क्या होगा कि जब वो कस्टमर उस पेमेंट लिंक के अगेंस्ट में पेमेंट देगा तो वो फिर ऑटोमेटिकली फिर से रिकंसाइल हो जाएगा. एंड देयर इज नो नीड टू टेक अ बैंक स्टेटमेंट इन आवर हैंड्स एंड कीप ऑन रिकंसाइलिंग एंड टिक मार्किंग ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. तो वो सब करने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो automation is playing that role for you, so you just need to focus on your entrepreneurial journey. Okay, next.
Yeah, so that was a very nice way you put it, Rohit. So now, just like payment reconciliations, the businesses face a lot of problems on payouts also when you make vendor payouts. So in vendor payouts also, because of irregular vendor payout cycles, there is obviously the business will lose its credibility. Each vendor will have different cycles, like 30 days, some might be 40 days, 45 days, right? Then one more problem is bulk payouts. Obviously, there might be 100 vendors who are in 20-day cycle. There might be 50 vendors who are in 30-day cycle. So when you want to do a bulk payment for all of them, it is very difficult because they might be having different kinds of bank accounts. You might be having multiple bank accounts, right? So instead, you can actually automate this bulk payments itself. You can do it in just a few clicks. You can do that as well, right? Again, the same issue as with payment reconciliation is that there is no linking of a payment with a supplier invoice, right? So you can even automate that over here. And obviously, timely payments, when you make timely payments to your vendors, it will create a good reputation for you. It will create a good reputation for your business, right? So it will obviously lead to better business for you in future. So now, Rohit, how do we do that? How do you automate vendor payouts?
Okay, first of all, before answering the automation for payouts to vendor, I'd like to address a question which has been asked in the chat box. One of my good friend is asking if GST would be enabled in the invoices. Obviously, GST would be enabled. There's an option where we can add the GST number of ourselves as well for our customers. And when we go to this tab again, there will be an option for GST as well. So obviously, the invoice generated would be GST enabled. Okay, so moving ahead. How do we automate vendors payout? Next. Okay, so सिर्फ customers ही नहीं, the software open has been taking care of our suppliers as well, because this is very essential for goodwill of any of the organization. So there can be two scenarios. The first scenario being जब हमें अपने supplier को payment करना है and we have the bank account details for the same. So there's a simple mode for that. As you can see, there's a create button at the center of the screen, but we have to click on that button and we have to fill the supplier's name, connect it with the invoice which he has raised, and then fill the amount, and we can easily make the payment by inputting the bank account details because we already have the bank account details. And the second scenario can be जब हमारे पास हमारे supplier के bank account details नहीं है. So they Open has come up with a unique feature कि अगर हमारे पास हमारे supplier का bank account detail नहीं है तो we can generate a payment payout link. जहाँ पे क्या करेंगे, we'll generate a link and we'll send it to our supplier. So as and when our supplier hit that button, he'll be asked to fill his bank details. और जो भी बैंक डिटेल्स हमारे सप्लायर्स उसमें फीड करते हैं, वो फीड हो जाने के बाद ऑटोमेटिकली वी कैन बी एबल टू पे द अमाउंट टू दैट बैंक अकाउंट. सो ऑब्वियसली this is automating the payment cycle as well to our suppliers. And there's also one good feature of bulk payouts. Bulk payout as in हमें एक एक सप्लायर को एक ही करके पेमेंट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. There are many suppliers to whom payment is due. तो हम उन सारे सप्लायर्स को एक साथ चेक करके उनका अमाउंट फिल करके रिस्पेक्टिव उनके अकाउंट्स में पेमेंट्स भी डाल सकते हैं. दिस इज आल्सो अ फैसिलिटी व्हिच हैज बीन प्रोवाइडेड. सो दिस इज आल्सो सेविंग अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम बिकॉज वी नीड नॉट राइट सो मेनी ऑफ चेक्स टू अवर सप्लायर्स, या फिर हमें करंट अकाउंट या अपने इंटरनेट बैंकिंग में जाके एक एक सप्लायर को पेमेंट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. नो नीड टू ऐड बेनिफिशियरी और एनीथिंग. जस्ट विद अ क्लिक ऑफ बटन पेमेंट्स कुड बी सेंट टू ऑल अवर सप्लायर्स. So this is how this thing has been automated. Next.
Yeah. So I think that is a very amazing feature that we can automate for our businesses. So, but apart from this, there is one more major feature which is pulling back a lot of businesses when they are actually doing their finances, is expense management, right? Many every company will have different departments who will be spending money on different things, right? Whether it is sales department, whether it is a finance department, whether it's an admin department itself, right? So now at the end of the day, the owner or the partner or the the finance manager will actually not know what are all expenses actually happen on that particular day or that particular week. It is very difficult to pick out, properly list out all the expenses that has happened across the company, right? So for this is when expense management is very, very important, right? So obviously it is time efficient. It's easier to track. Definitely Rohit will next show you how it will be done also. So just before that, I can tell you the benefits that you can derive from automating your expense management, right? Obviously, it gives a greater control over cash flow, because at the end of the day, at the end of the week, you'll be able to know how much expenditure has been done towards what all purposes across the company on all departments. You'll know that, right? And also expense management will help provide visibility, transparency of transactions. That itself is a feature of digitization, right? Transparency of transactions. Then the owners will definitely be aware of, generally they are unaware of the daily expenses, right? But if you automate it, you even have the facility of sending, automatic WhatsApp messages telling that so and so amount is expended for stationery, so much so is expended for fuels by the salespeople. Even that is also possible in an automated expense management. And obviously, irregular fund management will because of delayed reports, expense management after it is happened, after 1 month of happening, we can't help it, right? It will be difficult for us to plan for the future. So once you have these kind of real-time basis, if you have these kind of reports, it will help you manage the cash as well properly. So Rohit, how do you automate expense management?
Yeah, okay. Yet again, before answering this question, there's one more question from Mayank ji which I need to address. So Mayank ji is saying, is there any database where we can fill all the details of our customers and suppliers? Obviously, Mayank ji, there is a database where we can fill all the details with regard to particular customer or a supplier. All email IDs, phone numbers, bank account detail. If we have, we can fill everything. And when we select the name of that particular customer or supplier, uski sare details automatically fill ho jayenge. There is no need to refill each and everything again and again. Yes. Okay, going ahead. How do we automate expense management? Yes. So first of all, before knowing ki expense management automate kaise hoga, we need to understand ki what solutions the software has come up with. First solution the software which it has come up with is virtual cards. अब virtual card की needs क्या होती हैं? Virtual card actually क्या करता है? There are in a particular business organization, when it is growing, there are many departments and teams in a particular organization, जिसमें there are many team heads and team leaders who are responsible for particular expenditures. Like there is a purchase department, there is a sales department. जैसे भी वो कुछ भी खर्चे करते हैं for online payments, for subscriptions, for their orders. So what an organization can do is they can create a virtual card for a particular team leader. They can type their name in that virtual card. They can assign the department in that virtual card, and they can set the limit कि ये department इस particular amount तक का expenditure कर सकता है. और जब कोई भी team leader via using this virtual card is expending, that is automatically getting recorded in the software. So obviously the owner is having the control or supervision over the funds which are flowing in and out of the organization. तो उससे क्या हो रहा है कि there's a पहले तो हमें ये पता चल रहा है कि कैश कितना आ रहा है और कितना जा रहा है एक वर्चुअल कार्ड के ट्रांजैक्शंस के थ्रू. एंड सेकंड थिंग इज इट इज आल्सो कीपिंग अ चेक ऑन द बजट्स व्हिच हैव बीन सेट फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर डिपार्टमेंट, बिकॉज दीस वर्चुअल कार्ड्स आर एक्चुअली प्री लोडेड. ओनर कैन प्री लोड दिस कार्ड. जैसे हमने एक पर्टिकुलर डिपार्टमेंट की लिमिट सेट करी कि दिस डिपार्टमेंट कैन नॉट एक्सपेंड मोर देन 50,000 इन दिस पर्टिकुलर मंथ, सो वी विल लोड द कार्ड विद 50,000 रुपीज, एंड एट द एंड ऑफ मंथ वी कैन चेक कि कितना खर्चा हुआ, आर दे गोइंग बियॉन्ड द बजट और आर दे वर्किंग एफिशिएंटली. सो बजट्स भी चेक हो जाते हैं और उसके साथ साथ ऑल द एक्सपेंडिचर्स व्हिच हैव बीन इनकर्ड आर रिकॉर्डेड एज एंड व्हेन दे आर इनकर्ड. सो दिस इज व्हाट वर्चुअल कार्ड इज असाइनिंग. दिस इज अ इंटेंजिबल कार्ड and it can be used for online payments and all the orders and everything. And there's a very simple process to create the virtual card. As you can see on the right of your screen, there's a create virtual card button. We can just hit on this button. We can assign the name to the virtual card. जिस भी team leader को हमें देना है इसको, फिर हम उसका उस department add करेंगे, and then we can set the limit as well, and then we can preload and assign it to the team leader ताकि वो इस virtual card को use कर सके. So this is how virtual card is helping in automation of expense management. Next, this expense card. So there's a very thin line difference between virtual card and expense card. Virtual cards were assigned to the team leaders, and expense cards are assigned to the team members who are mostly on fields and are doing petty expenditures. And obviously, bade expenditure bhi they must be doing, but the employees who are on field, they are assigned to them. These are not virtual cards; these are tangible cards which we can order from the software itself. और जितने भी सारे transactions हम करेंगे, जैसे कि toll, parking, fuel, utility bills, all these expenses, when these are incurred with these expense card, these all get recorded in the software, ताकि हमारे पास जो छोटे मोटे जो expenses हैं उनका भी track maintain रहे. And to order this card, there is a simple process. As you can see on the right side of your screen, order card button, we can hit that button and then we can fill the basic fields which come, and the card will be delivered to your organization, and you can assign these cards to n number of employees जिनको fields पे जाना है. So obviously these cards will be preloaded and assigned to everyone who needs it. और purposes मैंने आपको बताया, tolls, parking, utility bills, इन सारी चीजों के लिए यूज होंगे, और obviously सारे expenses ट्रैक होंगे और मैनेज होंगे फ्रॉम दिस सिंगल डैशबोर्ड इटसेल्फ. तो हमारे पास सारी चीजें दिखेंगी, कौन से एम्प्लॉइज कैसे खर्चा कर रहे हैं. तो दिस इज हाउ through virtual cards and expense card, all of these are being managed. Our expenses are managed, ताकि expense, as I've already mentioned, have direct bearing on profit of our organization. तो it is very important कि सारे के सारे expenditure जो हो वो true and fair record हो हमारे financial statements में. And ट्रू एंड फेयर के साथ साथ एफिशिएंटली भी होना बहुत जरूरी है. एफिशिएंसी मतलब कम टाइम में मैक्सिमम आउटपुट. So this is what automation has been doing for you, and this Open Dot Money software has come up with a brilliant solution to automate your expenses. Next.
Yeah. Because usually we see that there is usually just one credit card for the company, right? Which needs to be used for a variety of purposes, whether you're subscribing for a magazine, or whether it's required for the sales, or whether it's required for any marketing activities, right? So instead of that, if you can actually have virtual cards which you can assign to different departments, so that will actually automate and that will actually smoothen the entire process flow. So there will be no hiccups. There'll not be required to go and take permission for each and every expenditure, because the virtual cards are basically preloaded. They are prepaid kind of. So you can actually only spend to the extent of what is preloaded in those virtual cards. So this is how I think it is will definitely also the main part is that it all you can view all the expenses in the same dashboard, which is a really big advantage over whatever cards, whether it is virtual cards, expense cards. You can all see the expenses all in one single dashboard, so it will help you a lot in managing your funds, right? So right, apart from expenditure management, also what are the other function that comes to my mind is HR management system, obviously, right? So that is one place that every company, every business feels is very tedious task, and we see a lot of professionals also taking up that part of job for themselves, but it is that is also a place which has a lot of potential for automation, right from the clocking in of the employee till payment of PF, ESI, statutory management, compliance management. So all that can be automated, right? So what, again, obviously I'm just giving out the reasons before Rohit takes you through how we can do that, or what features will be actually provided and open for you. So obviously it's a cumbersome and lengthy task which you want to get it automated so that your staff can focus on actual productive activities for the organization. Like you can even have attendance tracking at the end of the day, so that you will know how much leave the particular employee has taken and how much salary to be deducted for that, right? So you needn't have a person sitting and calculating that for 3-4 days altogether in the end of the month, right? And obviously you can also ensure that statutory compliances are easily taken care of, because everything is automated. You will know how much PF, ESI or PT has to be paid, right? Rohit?
Yes, okay.
Over to you.
So obviously yet again there's a end-to-end holistic human resource management system available in this particular software under Open Payroll. If we go, there's an end-to-end. As and when organization grows big, there's a need to automate the human resource management. Otherwise, this will eventually become a tedious task for any of the organization. So there is a need कि यहाँ जहाँ पे पेरोल प्रोसेस ऑटोमेटेड हो, सैलरी पे आउट्स भी ऑटोमेटेड हो हमारे अकाउंट से, और व्हाट एल्स वी वांट इज there should be a attendance tracking and leave management system. So this payroll system is coming with these features as well, कि जहाँ पे attendance tracking हो सकती है, leave management हो सकता है, and what additional feature this software is providing is we can run payroll by just one click, and payment slips will also be automatically generated, and obviously all the employees will be having a self-service portal to access their payroll information. So what I am briefly trying to explain is ये जो सारे के सारे फीचर्स हैं ये सब ऑटोमेटेड होना इसलिए जरूरी है कि बिकॉज एज एंड व्हेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज ग्रोइंग बिग it needs to focus more on its business and have a separate department to control the human resource, and human resource department को भी smoothly function करने के लिए सारी चीजें automate होनी चाहिए, because organizations are growing big and obviously they are employing many number of employees, 400 500, and they are going so big. So एक robust software होना चाहिए जो end to end हर एम्प्लॉय को उसके डेटाबेस के अकॉर्डिंग सैलरी का पे आउट कर पाए, और हर एम्प्लॉय के पास अपना सेल्फ सर्विस पोर्टल हो जहां से ही कैन जनरेट द पेमेंट स्लिप्स, ही कैन ट्रैक ऑल हिज टैक्स बीइंग डिडक्टेड, ही कैन सी हाउ मच पीएफ हैज बीन डिडक्टेड. सो दिस ऑल हैज टू बी डन ऑन ऑटोमेटेड बेसिस एज एंड व्हेन सैलरीज आर पेड आउट ऑन मंथली बेसिस. सो दिस इज व्हाट अ रोबस्ट HRMS should do, and this is what this is doing. So this is a welcome platform, because other than finance and everything we need to care about the payroll as well, HRMS as well. So we need not go on different platforms for each and everything. There should be a one stop solution in this current scenario जहाँ पे सारी business requirements integrated हो जाए, and this is a perfect solution for this.
Yeah. So now that we were talking about all the automation of the important functions in a business, so basically why do we automate it? Because once we automate this, the business person, the directors involved, the partners involved can actually focus on developing their businesses, right? But in this current scenario, traditional ways of developing your business might not work. Going door to door might not work, as you see, because everything is over the internet these days. So it is important that you have an online presence for your business, right? So which is why you need Google My Business, and this is also a feature that is available in the same product. So in this Google My Business, basically what it is it provides you you can actually list down your business location so that it will be visible whenever someone searches in Google for you. So you can list down all your details of the business, what they are doing, what are the products. Obviously, you would have seen that in Google Maps, you have the reviews, you have the address, you have the phone number, open time, close time, everything, right? So once you give that, once you actually list your business in Google My Business, you will be visible to your potential customers. Because now this is also a kind of pull strategy only, more than a push strategy, right? You're actually attracting people who actually want your business. So that's what Google My Business will help you, right? So for example, small example I've mentioned here, once you click on places to eat near me or restaurants near me, if you see, it will show a lot of restaurants near your location. So if you want your business to be mentioned in Google Maps or mentioned in the Google search, then you can go for Google My Business, which is also integrated in the same platform, right? So one more thing to note is, even if you don't have a physical shop in that location, you can still consider having a Google My Business page, right? It is pretty simple. Rohit, anything else to add for you in Google My Business?
Yes, obviously, like you have mentioned the very beautiful note, I must say, कि अगर if we do not have any physical location, still we should consider Google My Business. ऐसा हमें क्यों करना चाहिए? क्योंकि जब हमारे पास ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंस है, still people have been searching online for many things. So there is a need for Google My Business. So we are going to discuss about the needs of Google My Business. But yet again, first of all, let me answer a question which has been asked by Sheetalji in the chat box. She has been asking, can we only consider the expense management module of this software? Yes, obviously you can consider only expense management software like virtual card and expense card to manage the funds of your organization. And also you can become the part of this journey to revolutionize and automate businesses. Okay, now coming back to need for Google My Business. The first thing I see is visibility of your business to customers, given the fierce competition, especially after COVID. So obviously, after COVID, as I've already mentioned, people gradually are shifting from physical to online mode, and people have been ordering and placing orders, whatever it is possible. They are avoiding going to physical places, and obviously, there's a shift of habit from going out to consuming at home itself. So, the consumer behavior has been changing. So, with changing consumer behavior, there is also a need to change the behavior of businesses as well. So we need to be at that place where consumers have been searching for us, right? So this brings me to the second point: get one step closer to attracting your customer. So when we are placing our businesses online, we can provide links of our website. We can place the photographs of our goods and services which we are offering, and then we can make our consumers much more familiar with our offerings, being at their comfort zone. वो अपने कंफर्ट जोन पे हमारे बारे में और ज्यादा जान पाते हैं, तो वी कैन अट्रैक्ट मोर एंड मोर कस्टमर्स एंड वी कैन हैव एन एज ओवर अवर कंपटीशन. तो ये चीजें बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी हैं. एंड कमिंग टू द थर्ड पॉइंट, as more and more people are moving online, there arises a need to move your presence online. This is, ये तो चीज मैं चीख चीख के बता ही रहा हूँ इतनी देर से कि जैसे ही people are moving online, there is a need to move online. ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि अगर आप ऑनलाइन नहीं हो और देयर इज अ फियर्स कंपटीशन इन दिस एनवायरनमेंट, यू आर इनटू द कॉम्पिटिटिव बिजनेस, सो ऑब्वियसली जो पहले गूगल रिजल्ट्स में आएगा, कस्टमर विल सैडली मूव फ्रॉम यू टू योर कॉम्पिटिटर. सो देयर इज अ those gone are those changes where physically people are going to a particular shop for shopping or everything. So गूगल लिस्ट के हिसाब से मेरे ख्याल से फीफो वाला मेथड भी चालू हो गया है बहुत हद तक. सो ऑब्वियसली वी नीड टू बी एट टॉप ऑन फिजिकल प्रेजेंस एंड ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंस एज वेल. सो ओके, लास्ट पॉइंट, if your business isn't easy to find, then people will go somewhere else. So this has already been discussed. अगर हमारा business easily available नहीं है, तो people will find someone else. Okay, now you can go to the next slide. Okay, so yet again, there's no need to rush to different places to find a solution for each and everything like finances, HRMS. There's also a one-stop solution for googling to placing your business on Google itself. So you just need to go to app section of this software, where you can get started easily by registering your business with Google online, and you can have your physical plus online presence. So this is all about Google My Business, and thank you from my side. Over to you, Ramya.
Yeah. So these are actually just few of the ways that we saw where we can digitize and automate a business's banking and finance needs. So it is important that you as professionals be aware of these kind of tools which will help your clients to improve their businesses, because you are the person that they will approach for these kind of issues, especially if they are startups, especially if they are MSMEs. Because being from a startup background itself, I know that there will be a CEO, there will be a professional who, the entire organization depends for all these kind of issues. So if you are able to, suggest these kind of products, these kind of tools to help your client's business, this will create a huge value addition for the business as well as yourself for your own profession, right? So I hope this webinar would have actually helped you get a glimpse of all the ways in which you can automate the businesses. Like I told you, it is just actually one of the few ways. There are many more ways you can do it. So you can contact us anytime for that. So now I'm actually opening the floor to any comments on chat box itself. Anything else you want us to know? So before that, I would also like to, be thankful. I'm actually extremely thankful to all the audience who repeatedly attend all our webinars And it is such a support that actually makes us keep on doing more webinars to empower you, all the professionals, empower ourselves in the same course, right? Because we are all in the same community, we have to mutually empower ourselves. So this has been a great journey with all of you for all these years as well. And henceforth also in the future also, I really hope that all of you will be attending all of our webinars and supporting us same way. Yeah. So Yogesh ji, now we will be getting back to you. We can share our contact details as well. Rohit, maybe you can share your LinkedIn profile.
Just a second.
You can contact Abhishek Sharma as well for this thing. Yeah.
Okay, so to each and everyone who have been asking questions, thank you so much for your love and support. And we have shared the contact detail of designated person whom you can reach anytime for help and support. He'll guide you throughout the software. And obviously, as I've already mentioned, you can become the partner to revolutionize businesses.
Yeah. So again, thank you for everyone to come on a working day at 5 o'clock to attend our webinars. Yeah, sure, Mike, we have noted. Thank you so much. So again, thank you to all the audience for the continuous support. Thank you, Rohit, as well, to take your time, taking your precious time to guide us through everything. So thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Yes, thank you so much to all the participants for joining, and obviously thank you my co-speaker Ramya for being so patient to hear me so loudly, and because this is my obviously habit to go so loud. So thank you so much for being patient and being here and guiding me throughout the webinar. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.